So I've got 3 of the same knife because it's just that good. I'm probably not going to change knives for a very long time. Plus sometimes these knives, it's just impossible to get. So what they are is they're the BRK Tope Recons. And yeah, just one day I used one of these knives and I never looked back, because there's some of the main things about why I like this knife is it's not too heavy, it's not too big, but it's a big knife too. It has a really nice design. They come with really nice handles and really nice features. So this one, believe it or not, which comes in this sheath, this is my primary user, and it doesn't look like it's very used, but there's a little bit of a bend in the edge there. You'll see it when the light hits it, and that's just for me chopping a lot with it, and that's fine. And even though that bend in the edge there, it's still razor sharp. I dropped it. I decided to leave it because there's no reason to sharpen it more. What's this? Oh, I got a bit of a rust spot there. That's what you get from 3B steel. That's fine. We'll clean that off. You can just strop it off. There's some rust here. It's easy to just strop off that little bit of oxidation. And this one looks like I've used it a lot, but I really haven't. Nice handle, black pins, no ramp. I'll hold them side by side so you can see. The ramp design looks better, but I like the way this feels more. But I still care. This is still my main user. There's the handle, red liners. That's how she looks. Yeah, this one has had edge problems, so I had to do a secondary convex bevel, which helped a lot, and I just shaved this wood off today, and the edge is perfect even though it's dry. So obviously that first edge wasn't doing so good from the factory, which is fine. Tip's still good. This one I noticed I bent the tip at some point, which is fine. You know, if I sharpen this once, it'll be perfect. So I guess, and then there's this knife here. This is the last one I got. It has hollow pins being like there's no hole through them. Well, sorry, there's no holes on this one, and there's holes through this one. Got this used online. Mostly just want to have a backup for whatever reason, because I've been having problems with this one and this one. You never know. But yeah, this is the best one I think I've gotten, because you know bark rivers are semi-custom, so they're all hand ground, so you don't know what you're gonna get. But all these knives are functional, but this one has to go back to the factory, because actually the thing is sadly the blade is bent off to the side. Probably be hard to highlight in this video with the camera I'm using, but if I was to line up the edge, you can probably see it. The reflection, it goes to the left. So unfortunate. You really notice it when you're sharpening this, that it's bent here. But anyway, long story short, this is still a great knife. I just think that I want a straight knife, but no big deal. They'll take care of it. These are both supposed to be black canvas micarta, but look at the difference. Like, this one is really black. This one is more white grain. That's kind of cool. Also, this one has a has a bit less of a choil. Like, you can really get your thumb in there. This one, not really. Here's what I'm talking about. Not that you want to put a finger there, but you could. Here's how it looks like with a thumb ramp when you're using it. And then here's how it looks like without the thumb ramp, and it's much more comfortable this way in my opinion. When you're doing push cuts, this is nice. But also, when you're doing push cuts with this, it's nice too. Especially with a glove. I think this is really highlighted with a glove big time. Now people were asking about some stuff like the handle here, blue liners versus red liners. Both are nice. Red's more classic in my opinion, blue's just cool. And yes, this has a thicker handle than this one. That's just how it is. That's just how it came. Person hand grinding it, that's the vision they have. That's cool. If you notice, this has a higher grind than this one, and that's okay. So maybe this has a slightly thicker edge, but the sharpness is pretty much the same. Like, you're not going to notice it. Same thing on the other side. Yeah, sorry, there's my neighbors are, yeah. But yeah. Another interesting thing to notice about hand ground knives is if you look at the tips of each one. So here's the red there's the red liner, blue liner. Here's the white handle. And I think this got the thinnest tip, this got the beefiest tip, and this got the one in the middle. And they all seem to work, but I've never tested this blue linered one yet. So, and another highlight of these knives is the butt of the knife. That's cool. Like, there's a lot of things you can do with that. If you're hiking with scout carry, it's annoying because your arm hits it. So I've thrown electrical tape on the back more often than I ever thought, but I like having an exposed rear tang on a knife. It just seems like a really nice feature to have. You know, this one has the most round handle, so that feels really comfortable. This is a really thick handle. That feels really comfortable for certain things, like grasping. This one's a thick handle too. But you know the cool thing about a handle that's not as thick is you can put tape around this, like a grip tape. Because let's be honest, my Micarta is grippy, and this handle design is absolutely phenomenal, but a bit of grip tape would go a long way. I mean, it's simple. It's a simple idea. But anyway, if there's one thing... Oh, this lanyard, by the way, I have them all set up for my hand so that when you're carrying it around, it's just not coming out. Your hand's not going forward. I really like this style of lanyard. Actually, let's turn all the knives the other way now, just so that you get the other view. Yeah. Another lanyard on this one. Just remember, when you make these lanyards, make them a tad tighter because they'll stretch within a couple of weeks of use. So this one is a bit tight, but it'll be stretched perfect soon. This is a snake knot, which is great looking knot, and it works. It's functional. Yeah, same thing here. You know, if you want to chop things, this lanyard really makes a big difference. But yeah, if there's one thing I could say about reasons to get a Bark River Bravo Tope Recon, it would be that the design is really cool. Was one of them. Secondly, it's a good size knife for many different tasks. Like, these knives are really good for camp tasks. Also, they come in 3V steel, which is absolutely a phenomenal steel. Like, can't say enough good things about it. Not only that, but another thing you're gonna get from these knives is just, it just does, like, you can food prep this thing like an absolute boss. It's great for that. You can do bushcrafting things with it. I mean, you can do anything with any knife, but this knife just does, like, it shaves down wood really well. You just have to be aware that, you know, with a thinner edge, really, like, be a little bit more careful, but because the knife is 3V steel, it's going to be very forgiving. Because of this knife's tall convex grind, I've noticed that when you do wreck the edge, that with just a ceramic rod, it sharpens up quite nicely. Cool edge, eh? And let's see if you can see the rust on this now. I'm glad I took this out of my hiking pack. Geez, what am I gonna say? Like, the harpoon can be used for so many cool things. A lot of scraping tasks. You're not gonna wreck that harpoon, you know? It's just a great looking knife. And yeah, something that's interesting, there's the grind line here on this one. Do you see that distance from there, the fuller, and then it's taller on the blue micarta, or the blue linered one, and it's very high on this one. And yeah, it's not even, that's okay. The first knife I ever had was custom, and customs don't come out perfect when they're hand ground. If you want a perfect knife, you have to get one that's CNC'd, but where else in the world are you going to get a knife this cool, that works this good, that's this sharp, that's that easy to sharpen, that's made of 3V steel, and has this comfortable of a handle? Where else? It's just, it doesn't exist. So this is the only knife in this exact design you can get from, comes from this company, Bark River Knives. And you know, whenever they make them, they're gonna sell it within like basically a day or two. So if you see this thing drop, just make sure you get on it. By the way, you can't put your thumb back here, but you can put it on the side and it works just as good for pushing down into things if you have to do that. But yeah, best fixed blade ever in my opinion. Bark River Knives Tope Recon. These three are going to last me my lifetime.